Hi all, this is Jay from Jay at 3am. If you like the content of these videos, please hit that thumbs up below, subscribe and maybe leave us a message. It really helps the channel and it gives us that incentive to keep on making content for the future. Really appreciate it. Thanks guys. In today's walkthrough, we're going to be taking an inspirational quote and placing it on concrete and giving it a realistic painted on texture effect using blend ranges and displacement. So first of all, first thing we need is our base texture. Now this texture I found on Unsplash, it's royalty free. There's a huge selection on Unsplash, but this one fits our scenario perfectly. It's got that kind of gritty texture effect which I like, and it also has a lot of cracks and damage in there, which is detail I'm going to try and bring through the text for the end piece. So that's our base image placed. What I'm going to do is just tell Affinity to clip canvas to make sure the canvas is the same size as the base image. Now the process that I'm going to use, it's very straightforward. It's not a difficult one to follow, and it's one that I use all the time because I just think it gives you that realistic look, and it's hard to go wrong with the blend ranges. So there's our best base texture, and now I'm going to add our inspirational quote using artistic text. So our inspirational quote of the day is never stop chasing your dreams. I think I learned the spell as well. There we go. It's a statement that really hits home for me. I've been trying to get things started in this channel going for quite some time, so yeah, good advice. Never stop chasing your dreams. So for the text I'm going to use Impact as the font. The reason I'm using Impact is it's quite a thick meaty font, which is ideal when you're trying to place text over an image or a texture. Obviously if the text is too thin, it'll get lost within the texture in the background, and that's not what we want. We actually want the text to stand out and pop and appear to be painted on that texture rather than being lost within it. So I'm going to go for a white, just it really pops with a white on the grey and a black background. So there we go. And next I'm just going to rasterize that because I want a pixel image to play around with and adjust rather than the text there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a displacement live filter onto the text or the rasterized text, and what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to load the displacement map from the image below or the layer below, which is going to be our concrete, which is what we want the text to look like it's painted onto. So there we go, and you can see it's quite harsh there. It's Affinity trying to actually shape the text around the texture, and I think for this around about a 2 or a 3 pixel is perfect for this kind of thing. If we zoom in, it's not too harsh. You can see that it looks like Affinity is trying to sort of blend it in to the texture below, so I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm just going to rasterize that image to make it a single pixel so I can use blend ranges. And this is where the realism or the fun starts with the blend ranges, because what we're going to do is we're going to try and bring the blacks and the darker shadows through the text to make it look like it's actually painted onto the concrete. So for this I think it's personal preference. I've got a value that I think looks good and makes it look realistic, but again, it's, you know, you can sort of play around yourself to see what kind of effect you prefer and what looks good to you. But to me, I quite like this because it's got the bump, the greys, so the texture coming from underneath on the concrete there. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay. So now I'm going to add an effects, and I'm going to add an outline to the text. the reason I didn't do it initially was if you put an outline on first and then you do the displacement to layers beneath, the outline gets lost within the displacement. So for me, I prefer to do it after. So if we add an effect like I said, and we're going to do an outline, there we go, we're just going to do black line. We just want that text to pop out a little bit more than it is at the moment. So, and we don't want a huge thick outline, because it's just going to look terrible. So to me, I think around that 2 or 3 pixels would be enough, and to be fair, I think 2 is going to be enough for now. And as you can see, once we've done the outline, it's actually taken the blend ranges out of the text. But to get it back and to make the blend ranges take effect of what we have again, we just simply rasterize that layer again. And when we do, we don't want to preserve the layer effects. Rasterize, boom, there we go. It's brought those blend ranges back in. Now it looks kind of okay. You can see some of the darker shadows beneath, but it just looks like it's something stuck on top of the layer. And what I want is, I want to bring these cracks and the damage from the concrete through onto the text, so it looks like the text is actually painted on rather than just stuck on like a transfer. So the way I do this is I just duplicate the base layer, the base texture, and place it on top. And then I just use a threshold adjustment. Now the reason I'm doing that is I want a true black and white image to lay over the top of the text. And what this is going to do is, it's just basically going to just going to bring out the blacks, the true blacks, the cracks, and the damage that's on the concrete. So I think about 8% is going to be about okay, I think so. Okay, and then we're going to clip it to that top layer that we've just duplicated, and then we're going to rasterize that layer because we want a single pixel layer to blend into the image below. So again, we go into blend ranges, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the whites. So we're going to be using the source layer ranges, so we're going to get rid of the whites and leave the black to highlight the cracks and the texture within the concrete, and the damage there you can see as well. So we're just going to bring the right hand side down there, and slowly you can see it'll be coming into play. Bring it right down to the bottom, and what that's done is just overlaid the blacks and the cracks on top of the text layer, just to give it that additional element of realism, because you can see the cracks coming through there, you can see the damage in the concrete, and as you can see here in the text, you can see some of the blacks coming through from the texture as well, which is ideal. It's exactly what we want to do. So to me, I think that looks like we're in a good place. I mean, just to show a before and after. So that's with the threshold overlay, and that's without it. You can just see it just gives it that little bit of extra around the cracks and the damage, just to make it look like the text had been painted on before the damage occurred. So yeah, I think that's us just about there. So yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So there we go. The inspirational quote: never stop chasing your dreams. Great advice. And there it is, painted onto concrete. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.